Well, here at Ripon Cathedral at the moment, we're in our season of remembrance. This is the weeks leading up to the centenary of the armistice, at the ending of the First World War. And with the rest of the city, but with much of what we're doing here in Ripon focused here at the Cathedral, we're in different ways helping people to reflect on the huge sacrifice that people made in the Great War, but that dreadful war. We have here the installation, Fields of Mud, Seeds of Hope. Dan Metcalf is the artist who's put this together, and it really is tremendous. It's on quite a large scale here in the north transept of the cathedral, which is a huge area. It's taking up quite a proportion of that, 9 metres by 3 metres, and there is mud, some of it from Passchendaele. People will have heard of that dreadful battle in the First World War. And to begin with, you see mud. It just looks like mud, of course, and helps people to reflect on the trenches, the appalling conditions, what people suffered out there in that First World War. But as time goes on and the mud dries, then silhouettes, images of soldiers emerge, and these will become clearer as the weeks go by. And Dan's idea was that he wanted to reflect on, yes, the hell, the horror of the First World War, but that there were people who, having survived it, came home with hope of restoring their lives, rebuilding the world. And so within this soil, within the mud, he's scattered seeds of hope, poppy seeds. And I think at the end of the installation, after the Remembrance Sunday, and when it leaves the cathedral, people can take small amounts of the mud and then watch the poppies grow. But he really wants to talk about, yes, the horror of it, but also the hope that there is there. And that, of course, reflects perfectly with what we proclaim and what we celebrate here at the cathedral. Yes, being in touch with the world and its pain and the fallenness, we might say, of the world, but actually in the light of Christ's resurrection, hope in every situation. So we're here in a cathedral which is cruciform, the shape of a cross, reminding us of the supreme sacrifice that Jesus himself made for the sake of the world. But also a cathedral that has a crypt going back to the 7th century, the oldest part of any English cathedral, which speaks of the empty tomb of Christ, his resurrection. So here a building which speaks of, yes, the tragedy of the world, but also that hope that we have in Christ, in God, of one day all things, as it were, coming right and all things being well.